Hi guys, how you doing? It's been a while. I kind of apologise for that, but I have good reasons. I'll let you in on that. I'm just working on this, so we'll probably be doing a lot of standing around here. Oh, you motherfucker! While we swear. Oh, you shit lord. Come here, you prick. I hate this guy so much. How am I going to get him in there? God damn it. Get up here, you prick. Get up. Oh, I hate you so much. I hate this man. There's a chicken blizzard. Molly bastard. Absolute bastard. Right, first of all, let's fix this hole. And we do actually get him back. Get up here. Button up in. Come on. That's it. Right. Ah. Technically, he shouldn't be in there anyway. It should be somebody else, but he shouldn't be in there. He should be in there, but it doesn't really matter that much, right? Oh no, that's probably going to broken that. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Right. Okay. So let's talk. Where have I been?
Where haven't I been? Woof!
Let me tell you a story. Almost 10 years ago, I was doing this as a living. In fact, exactly 10 years ago, I was doing this as a living. It wasn't a particularly good living, I'll tell you, but it was a living. It was fun. It was enjoyable. It wasn't particularly well paid. But that's bye-bye. That's because I'm boring and nobody likes me. And then my father got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and then he very quickly died. Okay, let's keep an eye on this. I'm just going to watch him. This was not good. I took a year out, looked after my mum. She was devastated, obviously. I've just seen something that's broken. How is that? Oh, I suppose it has fucked up a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because it's that bottom row and there's nothing like that. Okay. That's my good vantage point. Here it was. I'm just a little concerned at these two next to each other. I've been faffing around with buttons and I've been kind of modifying it while he's been in there, which I probably shouldn't have. After a year or so doing that, I went and got a real job, which was quite hard to do because I not really had a real job for about 12 years. But I got one. I got a quite good one, actually. Horrible company, but great job. That makes sense. As a design, it was a good job. There was a lot of interesting things to design. And that was a contract job. That was a maternity cover. Did that, came out, managed to get another job off the back of that, which was nice. Which is a job I've had for the last 7 years. I intended on going in that job for a year or so, just to build up the portfolio. Something weird just happened there. That whole block shifted up, and it shouldn't. But it came off the yellow, which is even more confusing. So keep an eye on that. And that was supposed to set the green off. Okay, while we're watching this, I should probably tell you what's going on. Right, so blue one there is obviously affecting this blue line here, which is all these pistons, which pushes everything that way. Yellow is obviously this one, pushes everything down one. The blue and the purple are double pistons, so they're moving two. Green is obviously up. This wood block, this is powering both the blue and the magenta. Because these are moving two, if I pan both at the same time, they will both fire and it will move one instead of two. Although that did not fire the blue. That did. So why did that not work? That's interesting. Interesting. So these are things I should be. This is what I'm keeping an eye out while I'm talking. So yeah, I meant to work there for a year, get better portfolio, but it was a good company, good people. I stayed there a bit longer, and then COVID, lockdown, all that sort of shit. Not a great time to go looking for a job, so I stayed. I had a good boss, and in one of my meetings with her, probably about 2 years in, 2 to 3 years in, I said to her I wasn't happy with my role because I was a single graphic designer in a company of, I think at that time it was about 800 people. I was busy, but there was no career progression. You know, there was nowhere to go up to because it was only me. Now, 6 months later, she gets cancer. I don't know what one it was, but it wasn't a very good one because she died. She broke a good fight, bless her, but yeah, she went, and that was a shame. And so they promoted somebody in our team, somebody who was very ambitious, very corporate. They promoted her, but they didn't promote her to comms manager, which is what my previous manager was. They promoted her to head of comms, the very thing she said they'd never make. And that pissed a lot of people off. Now, this girl, woman, she was not very good at managing people. She was very good with strategic thinking and all that sort of bollocks, but work-wise, people-wise, she was not great. So we had a few years, quite a few years of unpleasantness. And then earlier on this year, she went away on holiday and never came back. We think she was pushed. We think she pushed too hard. There are rumours she's tried to be a director and they told her where to stick it. See, that is not working. Why is that not working? I don't know whether she tried, because there's a block missing. That's why. There's probably footage of that breaking at some point. So she's gone, and all of a sudden, everything was happy. The person that made our lives misery, I do mean a misery. She made my boss cry, and my boss is a fucking 46-year-old woman who is extremely good. One of the best managers I've ever had. She's not really my manager anymore. She's my manager's manager. So people focused, so good at dealing with people. Right, that wood is only pushing the purple, magenta, pink. You keep dropping eggs at a fair old rate. The thing that's been making people want to leave for years. I mean, we have gone through so many people that joined and then left because they couldn't work with her is unreal. We complained to the execs. They were aware of it. They put her on training courses. It's not really what we wanted. You just walked over that fucking green and nothing happened again. What the hell? Let's go get some seeds. I keep thinking, let's get some seeds. I can actually move them around and put them on squares so we can check how it works. Anyway. And then 3 weeks ago, well, a little over 3 weeks ago, but actually no, a couple of months ago, my missus decided that she wanted to go on holiday. Which, you know, I'll be honest, I wasn't super keen on the idea, but she really wanted to go, and so I said, yeah. I wasn't super keen on the idea because, I don't know, money's always been a little bit tight, and I didn't want to spend, you know, what's turned out to be about 700 quid, if not more, 750 quid on a holiday just before Christmas. But I said, you know, I can't go until the first week of December because we've got a management conference on at work, and that is usually a very busy time for me. And yeah, that is not firing up the blues. And, you know, I'm quite conscientious about my job. I am. Okay, well, that. I need to make some wood. Yes, I can go for that first week of December because there was a lot on. And I'd be very busy, and I know I'd be very busy. Oh, that's the doorbell. I'm not fucking going to answer that. Piss off. Mainly because I'm in my underpants. As previously mentioned. Yeah, that's not going to work from there either, is it? Let's go down here. Do it from here. Right. All right, calm down, calm down. Calm down. Cool, that fixes that. Right, so hopefully, when you turn around and step on that, which you're going to do, aren't you? These fuckers love corners. Yes, see, there's only one. Perfecto. Right, what was I saying? So she complained a little bit, but you know, essentially that is what it was. And then, they cancelled that conference quietly without telling anyone. Well, obviously told someone, but they didn't say, yeah, we cancelled this. It just didn't happen. And then B, we all got a phone call or a meeting requests, which we went to tell us that the company was spending a lot and needed to. Oh fuck! Why are you powered? Oh, hello. Okay, that's broken for a reason. What's going on here? Ah, fucky fuck. You're an idiot. You, sir, are an idiot. Okay, maybe we should... see, I can't put that straight out of here because I need this piston. Ah, fuck. I may have shafted myself quite badly here. Oh, I'm gonna... Hang on.
Later that same evening. 6.5 hours later.
Right. let's hope I remember to edit that out. I'm going to put some trousers on. Right, we've got to fucking work this out. This is bad. This is bad news bears. I could move that across. AliExpress is really cool because you buy shit and you forget about it, and then you get Christmas presents out of nowhere. That's really cool. Where was I? Oh yeah, so we have all been told that the company needs to save money, and a great way of saving money, it turns out, is getting rid of 200 people. So, yay, happy Christmas! Absolute fuckers. Absolute fuckers. Now, to add to this joy, right, you I'm going to break that. I'm going to break that with good reason. You I'm going to put there. You I'm going to put there. You I'm going to cancel. Then that can go back in the bag. You go there, you go there. Right, so boom. We're capturing those two, but that's fine. That is fine. I don't mind these two being a bit close because it means if it goes from there to there, or rather if it goes from there to there, it'll be far left to middle. So that's okay. That's fine. That's not a problem. Yeah, 6 months ago, I got, the head of that I was complaining about, while absolutely being a fucking nightmare, she wasn't without her merits. And one of those was she was supportive of my role and the need for my role, and she was very good at getting money out of execs. Now, no, she needs to put that block in, it turns out. I don't know how or why or what. Did she have something on people? I couldn't tell you, but I'm going to put some glass in here just so you can see what's going on. Like, fucker, you need to move because I'm not putting glass in here while you're standing around. Yeah, so she managed to get funding for another senior designer. I don't think we need another senior designer, to be honest with you. I thought we were quite happy with just a midweight, but that was what was called for. So I hired a senior designer. Nice guy, really good guy, talented guy, lovely, really nice guy, and he got on really well. It was a really good hire. He fit in very well, very quickly. And for a while, all was good. All was good. But yes, this call came about to get rid of people, and my job and his job were on that list of to cut things. Now, here's the irony. After all this effort, and it took years to get someone in, and he was only in for. He's only on a 18-month contract. all this effort to get him in and actually getting him in was, in the end, my undoing, because they couldn't justify 2 designers and they had to get rid of one. But because he's a contractor, he's employed by the company, therefore he has to be treated the same as everybody else. Whereas the logical thing would say, you know, pay off your contract, say sorry, here's some money. It's been terminated or whatever. You can't do that. In America, he probably could, but not here. Also, they can't fire you and rehire for the same job. So they created a new job, which was practically the same as my old job. I ran it through GPT and it said it was 75% similarity. But then it was ignoring some things in the new job description that weren't in my old description, but were still things I did. Such as supplier management. And we'll get back to that. Because in my discussions and in my complaints about this job role, one of the things I said was, actually, I'm going to go and get some torches. I need to light space up. I know this is lit up, but over there it's not quite so lit up. I do not want things spawning. Fuck this. Let's get the quick way. Let's have some food. Oh, hello. Oh, it's Skellington's. Where are you? Where are you, Mr. Skellington? Hello. Oh, I bet I know where you are. Oh, no, you're not. Hummina. Oh, there you are. Whee! I'm going to go. Hey! Right. Yeah. So they've created this new job, which is very similar to my job. And yeah, in my complaint about it, where I was saying that this is basically my job, they're like, oh no, it's a bit different. There's more social media and a lot of supplier management. And I'm thinking, I order all the print stuff here. All the banners that come into the office, all the, you know, we do everything from pull-up banners to promote things to wall graphics to fucking loads of shit. That doesn't appear. That shit I have to fucking order. You know, it's pissed me off royally, as you can probably tell. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. So because of all this, I had to reapply. Not for my job, obviously, because my job has gone. I had to reapply to this job, which is a completely different job. Absolutely, totally different. So I'm just checking there's no dark spots in there. Woo! I hate fucking scaffolding so much. Yeah, so that was a tad depressing, to say the least. But remember that holiday I went on? That was less than a week, actually, after this, because I think we got told on the Wednesday or Thursday, I think. That'd be cool, and I flew out on the Tuesday, I want to say, the following Tuesday. Yeah, look at all this shit, this is good. Let's grab some of that. I've got nowhere to put it because I'm a fucking idiot. No. Okay. We have to get rid of these, don't we? One of them will turn out to be chickens. yeah. So while I was away, they did lots of really helpful things like seminars on the interview technique they were doing. They were doing something called STAR. Some of you may have come across it, but I don't know. And it's a very specific interview technique. It's supposed to be all fair and shit. So basically, they ask you a question. And that question is, well, they call it skills-based. It's fucking not skills-based. Because my senior and I had a discussion afterwards about it. Don't need any light there. And one of the key things we were pointing out was there was nothing based on graphic design in any of the questioning. Nothing at all. It was all really shit corporate questions about how you manage stakeholders, essentially. And it's done, you know, Jeopardy has this sort of answer style. It's kind of a bit like that, where, I mean, it wasn't the same style, obviously, but it was, can you tell me about a time when you had to tell your stakeholder a job was delayed? Something, you know, arse like that. Nothing to do with graphic design, as I say, you know. Nothing about, you know, how do you animate something in After Effects, or how do you prepare this for print. Nothing like that. And what you're supposed to do, and in fairness, you know, they did give me some sort of PowerPoint slides from the talk and shit like that. But they gave that to me when I got back from holiday. I got back from holiday on, I think that's a Tuesday morning. A Tuesday off, obviously, because that's what you do when you come back in the hours of the morning. I mean, 3 o'clock. So I went in on Wednesday. On the Monday, I think it was, I was told, I got a WhatsApp from my boss, the good boss, telling me that my job interview was on the Thursday. So that's 3 days notice. I get back on Wednesday to find out all this guff about the interview. So that's 2 days notice, if that. 1 day, I suppose. So I go through that. I don't, you know, I'm not really taking it in. I've just come back from holiday. My brain is still racing about the fact that I'm about to lose my job. Yeah, when you've got a mortgage, that shit, and you're 52, that shit is scary. Okay, that is some scary stuff. So there's a lot going on in my head at this point. Didn't really enjoy my holiday that much because I was quite preoccupied. I mean, I did enjoy my holiday; it was nice, but there was a lot of preoccupation going on there. My brain was like, so yeah, I wasn't really taking it all in, if I'm honest. That's fine. That's fine. In fact, I put these extra ones in because I had a different configuration with these chickens. I had 2 chickens, one left, right, one up, down, in 2 separate bins, and it was not working. It fucked everything badly. So I put these in to try and fix that, but then I decided, no, let's go back to 1 chicken, which is a little slower. I'll leave that one in. Fuck it. Anyway. So yeah, so I was not happy with that, and I dismally failed the interview for the job I've been doing for 7 years. Wow. Hey, Badge, how can you fail a job interview for a job you've been doing for 7 years? Good question. Good question. The job I've been doing particularly quite well for the last 7 years too. So it turns out, with this star interview technique, what you're supposed to do is, and I knew this because I did read the things, but again, brain not really all there right now. Not a lot of notice, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a little neurospicy. When I do a job, I work, I put my all into my job. I am very proud of what I do. Okay. I'm professional. I like what I do. I am not going to reach from here. Oh, I can reach that. That's fine. I mean, to be fair, I can fall all the way down there, and it is not a problem. It's too bad the falling fall. Or put that in there, put that in there, put that in there. You and you. I'm going to put you in the spicy box. Yeah. So what happens is I do my job to the best of excuse me, to the best of my ability, and I care about my job. And then once it's done, it's out my head. I'm on to another job. Questions that ask you to remember a time when you did things doesn't work very well for my brain. It's not great. And, you know, that's not an excuse. That's just the way it is. And I should give it a little bit more prep time. I probably would have, you know, trained my brain to answer that way. But I didn't. I get in that room, they get call with these people, they start asking me these questions, I answer the questions as questions. So I tell them about a time I did that. What I didn't do was tell them about a specific time and frame it in, this is the problem, this is what I said, this is what I did, this is the outcome, which is what we're supposed to do. Because I'm hyped up, my brain is like, okay, answer this question, yes, okay. There's me being all nice and smiley and giving these best answers, and of course they're absolute bollocks because they're not what they're looking for. But they don't tell you that. They didn't say, oh, okay, that's great, but do you think you could frame it in this way? No. It's like, oh yeah, okay, that's lovely, thank you, next question. And another bit of my feedback was apparently I didn't pick one subject, sometimes I picked a couple of examples. Fuck me, right? Okay, green didn't work again. Something fired, it wasn't green. I mean, seriously. The thing that fired was it shutting off. You didn't fire again. I didn't pick up some... Yeah. So I failed that quite badly, which I'm not happy about. I'm not happy about them to do it in the first place, but I'm not happy about people that I've worked with. I mean, it was that was with my immediate boss, who's relatively new, and I'm like, why? No, you fucking tool. You fucking tool. No wonder that's not working. And again, you know, I am all for taking ownership when you fuck up. I mean, that is one of our values at work. I mean, they call it ownership, but it's basically admit you fucked up. I can do that. I'm fine with that. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Right, yeah, get over there, controller. Oh, not really. Do not be there. We're in the block. I'm about to fucking. Ah! No! Ah! I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, well, at least, thank God we didn't use a spare. You bastard. Right, okay. Now, the reason for that, while we're here, is when he stands on that, obviously it sends a thing through it. I don't want it to be permanently powered, which it would be. I mean, in this instance, there's no real problem in that happening, other than the fact that if he moves from there to there quickly, this could still be powered when these kick in, which in the main part shouldn't be a problem, but there is some instances where it is a problem, and that's what happened when I had 2 ducts going. So what this does is a pulse limiter. So this goes on, it fires, it triggers this, which fires up, which obviously then there's no throughput here, so it stops. So this gets the pulse through in the time it takes for that piston to go up. So current goes through, fires that, comes through here as that's firing. So you get a little blip. Why is there no... Because I built that and I didn't put it on, because I am the king of detail. Oh shit. Right. Okay, good. That should all be working now. Yeah. Now, one of the reasons I hired the senior designer we've got is he interviewed very well. He wasn't the best candidate for the job, I don't think. There were others, but they were quite a lot like me. And one of the criticisms of the people I shortlisted is quite a few of them were another me, which you didn't want. And not all of them. We had a few different ones. And if you've ever interviewed people before, it's quite difficult. Very easy to get, involved in the whole, oh, this person needs a job, I want to give them a job just because they need a job. Did you fire that green as well? It felt like you fired that green, but no, you didn't, because it's not up, so that's cool. Right, off. Off. Oh yeah, the other reason for those pistons is if they are being run by an observer instead of just a straight pressure plate press. When he stands off, so I was just thinking, when he gets off that pressure plate, the observer would see another change and fire again, and I don't want 2 shots. So that first hit sticks that block in the air, so it can't take current. So then as he comes off, the second pulse will bring that block back down, so it's free to work again. Although it has just made me think. Will you go to yellow? Yeah, okay, that's a problem. That is a problem, because it's stopping the pressure plate ones from working every other turn. Okay, that is... I think I can probably fix that. Maybe. I can't do it there though, because that's... That's not going to work. Yeah, so yeah, this other guy is, I kind of interviewed him on a bit of a whim. It was like, he's not really what we're after. He was a lot more social media orientated. That was his... yeah, he wasn't exactly what we were looking for, but when I presented him to my boss, she was like, she was quite excited, and she was like, yeah, okay, well, we can use him and go the more social media bent. So basically what I'm trying to say is here, I was the architect of my own downfall because he interviews well. That might not actually work. And it should do. He did get the job. He wasn't away on holiday for a week. Because they only really gave it to us two to interview for first, and then if we both failed dismally, then they would have given it to somebody else. But he's very personable, and he's very good, and they offered him the job. So they ignored the last 7 years of my work and pretty much based it on that one interview, which I am quite pissed off about, as you can probably imagine. I mean, he's got 6 months of good work behind him. He's done a very good job while he's been there. And I've no animosity towards the guy at all. He's a good guy. I'm happy for him. And I said to him, to be honest with you, by the time your contract had ended, I probably would have left the company anyway, because it was getting time. And you probably would have had the job anyway. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Get to yellow, get to yellow. No, it doesn't fucking work. Okay, let's redo yellow. In fact, yeah, okay. I didn't do it right anyway. Some idiot. So yeah, there we have it. 7 years of working very hard for a company. You know, 7 years of not putting them first, but you know, dedicating a lot of my time to them, working hard, and they don't give a flying fuck. Now I am getting a redundancy package. You know, it's not like they're throwing me out on my ear. So I'm going to be good for a while, but it's not really what I want. In the grand scheme of things. But you know, had I left, I wouldn't have what I have now. Right, now then. Break you, break you. We're going to put you here. We're going to put you there. Now we're going to put this in front. And I'm going to knock it to 3. There's my redstone. There it is. So I'm hoping that that will give it a little bit of a longer push. Where are you, chicken boy? You're over there. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need that. It should be fine as is. We'll give it 1. The problem is it's going to be quite delayed compared to the others. So if it does do a runner, it might fuck things up. But hopefully that's going to be a relatively unlikely occurrence. Come on, go. On the plus side, when the new guy joined, I pushed for, well, he needed a new laptop. And I had an Area 51 Alienware thing, which was quite a nice laptop, but it was not up to the job. It's a big motherfucker as well. Really big. Because I do a lot of video editing and animation, I said to him, you know, I need something that's got a big NVIDIA gaming card in it, you know, because of the CUDA cores and all that. It's good for rendering. So that's why I had that. It took a lot of work to get that. Really did. Because I don't want to spend money. So when new guy joined, I said he's going to need a new laptop. Mine's not up to the task anymore. Let's get a pair of new ones. So I've got a Dell XPS 16 something or other. It's got a 4060 in it. It's a badass laptop. It's got a keyboard that I hate, but it's a badass keyboard. And I said to them in my redundancy meeting, I said, look, in my job, you know, I'm going to look for new work. I'm going to have to create all sorts of things. I'm going to have to make portfolios. I'm going to have to put together, you know, examples and all this. And I need a machine to be able to do that. Can I take the laptop as part of the settlement? Now, they're doing an enhanced redundancy settlement. In the UK, you get statutory redundancy pay of 1 week per year you've been working there, which is fucking dire, but, you know, something. So what they've done is said, right, we're enhancing that. We're making that 2 weeks for every year, which is nice. But if you're over 45, I think it is, the statutory is 1.5 weeks. But they're not giving me 2.5 weeks. They're just still giving me 2. But that's pissed me off a little bit as well, because that means that some people are coming out better off than they would have, and better than others. One guy I think he's been there. Well, I thought he said 19, but I don't think the company's been going 19 years, but he's been there since near the start. So he's probably got a fairly decent payout, and he's retiring anyway because he's old. So quite happy, said, yeah, I'm out. So yeah, I've got quite a nice laptop out of it, which is good. I mean, obviously I'm not doing this on my laptop, so I've got a decent computer anyway, but we don't tell them that, do we? So all in all, the last few weeks have been quite a thing. I'm standing here. I don't need to be standing here. These are all working fine. Everybody's happy. Let's see if we can go and get that. Boom! Look at that. What is it? Disappeared already. He's gone, isn't he? Did not mean to do that. Oh, you motherfucker. Nothing's ever easy, is it? Right, food, plants. Oh, mango popular. Oh, I don't know what that does. We'll have to look into that. Where is the kelp? There's the kelp. Help me, kelpie. Actually, I can't go all the way down, can I? So back down again. Anyway, that's that. It is Christmas time, which again is a fucking dick move to make the best part of 200 people redundant. This time of year, that is, thank you, major dick move. But I understand the problem. The company's money coming in is slowing down, the money going out is not. They're going to make some cuts. I get that. I understand that. Don't think they did it well. Not least because I'm involved. But that's business, you know. They're going to try and sell the company, so obviously the profits dropping like they have is not good. Right. So what have we been doing anyway? We've got this. So basically here. Now the problem is, A, that sun is ridiculous. Let's move over here a little bit. B, a fucking chicken just does not move as much as it should. Now, I tried all manner of ways to make this random firing pistons. And it was extremely difficult. I mean, I could have 4 different, what are they called? The ESO funnel timers. And some sort of system where one would shut off all the others. I'm not entirely sure how that would work. Some piston cutting the line or something. But it turns out it seems to be the best way of doing it. It's just buttons and chickens. And the trouble is, sometimes he runs around like an idiot. Sometimes he stands there. So if anybody's got any ideas on how we speed this up, short of splashing him speed potions every now and again, which is probably not the best idea. Right, I want to make sure he goes up down as well. But yes, I'm out now to go shopping because it's the 20th and I'm a man. That's what we do. So I hope you guys all have a good Christmas. Don't know when I'll be back. I've got I'll be around for a bit of Tuesday maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. Not on. And then oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say is it's not moving. I'm not happy about that. I'll be honest with you. Because I put those buttons like all close together because there's 7 buttons. I could have a 3x3 and put all the buttons in, and the wiring would be a nightmare. But I could do that. But then he'd just step from one button to another button, and I think it would start firing off same time and stuff, and that would be a bit of a shit. So I think this is probably one of the smallest sizes we can do, where he's not going to be standing on 2 buttons at the same time, because you can quite easily do that. But it doesn't seem to be going up and down. That is concerning me. But yeah, so the other side of that is he will stand in the corner for quite a while and do nothing, and there's no. Is there another mob that moves around quickly and is a bit more energetic? He's not moving up and down. Oh, that concerns me. The other thing is I've got these little tendrils here that I've kind of put in, which are way too small anyway. They just look like a coolio. Should I cover the entire mountain with this black stone? make him kind of blend in better, it would make the whole big castle thing. I could sort of turn. What's it better? I could turn this into like a tower thing here. Is that an idea? What do you think? Is the mountain good, or should we make it all big black tower? I'd leave this shit at the bottom, like I've done here. I'd leave the dirt at the bottom, and then move that one. Okay, off. Let's get back on. Right, I'm concerned about time. I need to get this edited and out. Right. So yeah, I'm going to quickly go back up top, have a look at that up-down mechanism, see why that's not doing what it should. Now, what I am going to do while I'm here, see if I cover everything in stone, I can then hollow it out. I want to get villagers in here at some point. I want this to be like a big working castle. I want to cover that back side so that all that shit's not visible. I came over here because I want to do two things. One, get rid of all that shit. Two, don't tell me I don't have some basic fucking seeds. There you go. Seeds. Let's get rid of that. Oh, let's get rid of that as well. I mean, it's food, but I might have to give it a label. The yellow that's... Yeah, oh, it's the yellow that's not going down because it's the yellow I fucking fucked about with. It's clearly not working. Anyway, I'm going to fix that. Have a good Christmas, everybody. And I will see you, if not before the new year, I will see you next year. And hopefully, we will have a super fun, great news story for you about my wonderful new job. Yeah. Hi, just a quick one to fill you in on what I've done. It's a long video, I know, so we'll keep this brief. I just got here and he's running around, ironically, like a headless chicken, but he seems to have stopped now. We're looking at him. So, I had a lot of problems, and one of the main issues was the signal was actually too long. If you remember, I put in some things here. I don't know if I actually explained it on the video, I can't remember. There were two little comparators here facing opposite directions, and what that was doing was giving an extra 8 tick to the pulse, making it longer. But what I was actually doing, while it did work, it was kind of... I'm not entirely sure what it was doing, but it was kind of leaving like these pistons pressed while he went onto another button, because when he moves, he can move quite quick. It's a bit like my mum, really, because she's old, she's 80 and got stick because she's had 2 new hips, and a lot of the time she doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to move, but when you get her out and about, she scuttles away like a little beetle. So it's kind of a bit like that, and what we don't want is 2 buttons pressed at the same time. And do you know those like slidey puzzles? I used to get like a grid of tiles, and if one was missing, you'd shift them all around. It was kind of doing that with the eye. It was a mess. Yeah. So it was doing long pulses that were too long. So I set this to 1. It's too quick, and these don't do the double press. They just spaz about in the air and don't do anything. So I've taken both of those out. I've made them both the same size, so when they do both fire together, they do put it in the middle. Oh, fell off. And that seems to have fixed it. After having to literally dig the whole of this thing out and rebuild it. Because as I say, there were just bits everywhere. It was awful. So there you go. None of the wires are crossed. I was thinking I could put all of them as observers. Either above or below, but I don't think that really needs doing. Anyway, there you go. That is that. It's, what is it now? 2:30 in the morning of Christmas Eve. This has taken way too long to make a video about. It really has. But there you go. I'm sorry it's so long, and a lot of it is just me waffling on about jobs and shite. But as I say, have a great Christmas. Oh, look! The Christmas present box skin is back. How lovely. With trees on it and all sorts of trees. This is a different one. That's very nice. I wonder who did that. I'll probably find out if I pay attention, but other than that, that's very good, isn't it? Very festive. Yay! Alright guys, enjoy, have a good one. Hope you get everything you wanted and everything's cool and lovely and brill. Take care. Bye.